Hi everybody, good morning and welcome to the Birmingham airport. I've been on a work trip, so I've been in Birmingham, Alabama for about a week. And I also got to see some family while I was here. So I'm heading back to the City Beautiful in Orlando and my beautiful Emily. So I can't wait to be home, but I wanted to show you a few tips and tricks throughout the airport. And since I'm about 2 hours early, it'll give me time to give you a little bit of a walk around and show you some of the things here. So one of my first tips is a backpack. I've tried several different things. I've tried a messenger bag. I've tried several different, carry-ons, but a backpack seems to work best for me. Um, a messenger bag, all your weight goes on one side of your body, which really throws off my balance. And I've really learned that a backpack, as long as it's not super heavy, is a great idea because you can kind of throw it over one arm with both straps, or you can put it on your back if things get a little crowded. So that's my first tip. One of my newest tips is TSA pre-check. It has really helped out a lot. My employer was nice enough to pay for this for me, but basically it allows you to not have to take off your shoes and pull everything out of your carry-on that you're bringing with you, and it also allows you to keep your jacket on. So it makes it much easier to get through the security line because I have a really hard time taking off my shoes and putting them back on when there's nowhere to sit down. And that happens often in most airports, unfortunately. I pulled this information about cost from the TSA PreCheck website. As you can see, if you travel enough, it's very well worth it. One of my biggest tips in the airport is just to take your time, right? And that goes with anything that I try to do with cerebral palsy. I try to be there early enough to take my time because when I rush, I fall, or or I trip, or when something happens. So I try to give myself 35 minutes earlier than you typically recommend for anything. So I just give myself a lot of extra time so that I can take it slow, right? Take it slow, take it calm. That way I get to enjoy the scenery, right? And it's quite a quiet airport today, so it should be an easy flight, and we'll walk our way down to the terminal. Another thing I'd like to mention is don't be afraid to ask for help, right? So if your bag's a little bit heavy, um, ask someone from the airline to help you. If you need a wheelchair to get around, they're glad to do that. I always bring a little bit of extra cash so that I can tip those folks because they always do such a great job. If you are running late, definitely consider using the wheelchair to help you get there because if these guys know the airport better than you do. They know the best way to get there, and they can even call ahead and have them tell the plane that you're coming, so that things don't cause you to miss your flight. Also, don't be afraid to say, hey, I might need to use the restroom before this flight, and they'll be glad to drop you off at the restroom too. I've had several wonderful folks at the airlines do that for me in the airport. So don't be afraid to do that. Because this is a smaller airport, I'm not going to do that today, but make sure that you know that you can, and don't be afraid to ask. One other important thing to mention is pre-boarding. You might have to go to the gate agent and mention that you're disabled and need pre-boarding, but it really helps. It allows you to get seated, get your bags in the right place, and get everything ready before everybody else starts climbing on. Uh, Especially on flights like Southwest, where it's uh, everybody's sitting everywhere. So it's gives you a second to sit down, get comfortable, and not have to climb over everybody. It makes it a good bit easier. So definitely recommend that. Just go up to the gate agent, mentioned you're disabled and would like pre-boarding, and they will fix your ticket for you. One last tip, I always carry a bag with some kind of drink holder on the side, so I can get a drink with a top on it like this, and then stick it in the side of my bag, so that I can get to it easy, but it also gives me a free hand, so that when I need to use handrails and that type of thing, it's really easy to do that, and can still get to my drink. Okay, everybody, we've made it on the plan, and we're ready to go. Ready to go home. Well, we made it, and here we are at baggage claim waiting on our bag. It was a little busy throughout the terminal, so I didn't take video as I was walking, but we'll try to do that next time. I'll see if I can find a good video for walking through this airport as well. But here's a quick view of baggage claim. Kind of empty today, but it'll pick up in a little bit, I'm sure. And here comes the best part. It's my Emily to pick me up. Well, thank you for following my adventure back home to Orlando from Birmingham. It was a great work trip. We got a lot done, and it was great to see family as well. So that was a great trip, and I'm glad you got to walk through the airport with me. I hope I was able to point out some things that will be helpful on your next adventure. And as we say, no matter what, adventure anyway.